Okay. Hi, everybody. So, how's everybody doing? I wanted to check in because I just had a powerful moment of alchemy, a weekend really of alchemically transmuting all sorts of chaos. Full moon, maybe. Just the masculine stuff's all coming up, maybe. We are going through upgrades and timeline shifts like never before, maybe. There's a lot of ways we could talk about what's going on, but I think the first thing to talk about would be how's your body feeling? What are you sensing? Where are you feeling stressed? Are you feeling stressed? Are you feeling anxious? Are you feeling happy? Are you feeling joy? Are you feeling at peace? Are you feeling love? What is going on inside of you? This morning, I had a very powerful sensation of anxiety that I haven't felt since connecting with a past partner in my life. And I'm like, man, what is this? And I'd sent a few messages, and then I saw a message from him that I'd missed from last night. And I was like, oh, well, there's the anxiety. And the beautiful thing that I want to bring forward in this is a continued affirmation around the fact that our words are incredibly powerful. The stories we tell are incredibly powerful. And the more we can stand in the light of things that we feel shame about, the things that we know we did wrong, that we know we did incorrectly, the more we can take ownership of our part of the equation, even if we were the victim, even if we were the abuser, even if we know it was off but wasn't quite sure why, even if we're taking on too much. There's all these ways that we interact with the stories in our lives. And the beautiful thing is we're not in control of anybody else's story, but we get to determine how it is that we want to show up. And for me, the way I want to show up is with love and integrity and really being honest and deliberate. Now, I'm not perfect. Sometimes I'm going to yell and I'm going to say things in a way that are unnecessarily triggering, but I'm always working to do better, right? Do better. Beautiful friends with me shared a dream they had the other night, and the message of their dream, a dead relative had visited them and was upset with them. This message from the ancestors, right? And it was like, do better. And I asked him for himself what that meant. He's like, well, that I need to do better. And he knows what that looks like for him. And I do think that in the past, we have had, some of us have had unnecessary ways of pressuring ourselves when it comes to being perfect or being better, even. We put too much pressure on, or maybe as kids, there was too much pressure on. So as an adult, then that became of like, well, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to do better. I'm not going to do anything at all. Or for some of us as an adult, or even as kids, it was always just like trying to be perfect and get everything just right. Because maybe if I do it this way, then it will feel this way. And I think that there's a powerful thing happening, and maybe just this is true in my own journey, and it's not happening for the collective, but I've seen such big waves going on, is that there's radical acceptance going on of what is. There's radical truth of, yeah, I do need to do better in these areas. There's radical acceptance of, oh, I've doing better is doing less. It is stepping back. It is creating space for others to do more. It's creating more space to listen deeper and respond less. It is creating space to speak slower and listen more to the intuition. So I personally have been seeing how fast we can transmute intensity. For myself, the back to back of crazy intense things going on. And it's not like my own dramas either. These are big things that are occurring. They're not minor shifts. It's not my dog took a shit on my bathroom floor and I stepped in it. That could add for a bad day, but these are big things that keep happening in my reality. And I know that I'm on a current trajectory of clearing out last little residuals of karma. And as this happens, big things also are happening for people around me who share fields, who are I work with directly, whether through partnership, friendship, business ships, all of the ways that we show up. There is big transmutation happening. And more so than ever, I'm feeling this great presence and this ability to step back and see the story for what it is, and then tell the story for what it is. And if we were meant to be small, and what do I want to say exactly? Okay, let me catch my thought for a second. You'd think I'd come on here with a plan, but no, I really just speak from my heart. To speak with truth, to speak with clarity, to speak with integrity is how we can truly be seen. It is how we can truly be heard. It is the very essence in which we are meant to merge our spiritual beings with our physical beings. And as we grow and we shift and we expand, and as we hold love others in love, even through their suffering, even through their pain. Now, when we feel true love, we are able to connect with the very essence that is the core of our being, and it is the very intention of why we're here and why we're meant to have the interactions that we have. Now, not everyone is going to receive what is shared in a direct and powerful way. However, the more we do connect with the threads of our knowingness and of our clarity, the more we will magnetize those who are really meant for our lessons, not that the other ones weren't, but those who are meant for our lessons in a way that they are ready to receive our lessons. I think in the last many years, at least for myself and maybe for others who are watching this video, there's been a lot of being in places and scenarios that can't recognize the gifts, and they can't really truly support the alchemy of the journey that the person is on. Now, something very powerful was said to me yesterday. When we are leaders of a community, when we are guides, we will be tested, we will be challenged. And the more that we step forward and step in love, and it's not about being professional as in being sterile, it's about being honest. There is a person who is struggling. Their actions are creating and wreaking havoc for those around them. We can see them in that. If we're close enough to that, that we can hug them in that. We can hold them in that. If they're not safe, we send loving prayers. When we don't acknowledge the behavior, that which does not serve them, nor does it serve anyone else. We can't play to the lower part of somebody who is becoming violent or unstable in a way that is emotionally violent. So, what I'm bringing forward in this message today is a card that I just got this beautiful oracle deck, and I did a very powerful reading with a dear new friend who we've just started doing some really deep heart alchemy together as women on this planet. And I drew these cards right before having a powerful, unplanned conversation with somebody. And the cards that all came out are really beautiful. And I think I want to share them as a whole, even though this isn't a collective reading, it somehow feels like it was. So these cards came out, and this was Beware of the Happy Toxins and Protect Yourself from Boundaries. So these are really beautiful cards, all right? I'm not going to read the book. They're pretty direct in what they mean. And then the card I drew for myself was A Quest into the Subconscious. All right. And the thing that I was drawing about or was about to occur was someone coming over that ended up being an intense conversation. And this was Invite Your Monsters to Tea. Now, the reason I'm sharing these, and it was such a potent reading for herself and I and the situation that I was moving into. All right. Timmy's got something to say. Timmy, can you come here? Thank you. Can't control the entire environment. Anyway, so invite your monsters to tea. And this is very symbolic of this idea of bringing light into the shadow. I think a lot of religious people on this planet, and I will just speak to the religion I was brought up in. I don't participate in that anymore. My relationship with my spirituality is very different than that of which comes from that type of book. But I really do resonate with the path of the heart, the path of Christ consciousness. And what I've noticed in that is I've also had to do the path of the mind, the path of the Buddha, because in that level of consciousness, that heart-centered light and that level of awareness, it's really about loving people even through their darkest times, through their shadows. Now, it's important, of course, to have healthy boundaries when those people become destructive in a way that is harmful to you. However, the way that we can love through that, and you can feel it, that person enters a state of reciprocity, is able to receive what you're saying. That is a time to hold them accountable. When they're in the density of the shadow, they can't always see, but if they come out just enough, there is the possibility to enter the field. And sometimes what we say, and I apologize if I'm being repetitive, there's a lot of energy moving through me right now. Sometimes what we say isn't always going to be received in that moment. But by bringing light into the shadow, we are able to plant the seeds of consciousness for that healing to occur. When we can also do this for self. Maybe you have shame around eating a cupcake at 10 p.m. Well, guess what? You can love yourself while you eat that cupcake at 10 p.m. And maybe that's not the healthiest choice for your body. Maybe, you were shamed for ever eating a cupcake in general. Maybe you're just cheating on your diet one night and you know it'll only be this one night, but there's so much guilt. Like the more we bring light to that, you're saying, actually, this cupcake is going to calm my nervous system. It reminds me of the treats that my grandma would make on my birthday, and to eat this cupcake will calm me in a way that will bring. Now, eating 40 cupcakes, that's a different conversation, different time. But we can have these little moments to bring light to our shadow, to acknowledge that there can be a dark component to what it is that we're doing, while simultaneously being with the light of it. Yeah, my dogs have a lot to say about this. Nutmeg, Timmy, what are we seeing? What's in the space? We may never know. So anyway, I share this video with you because I want to bring light to your shadows. There is no story, there is no dream that you've had, nightmare, there's no interaction that you've had, there's no abuse that you've been on the receiving or giving end of, there's no words that you said within a child. There's nothing that can't be forgiven and loved and healed. Now, as this shadow comes into awareness, as we recognize that maybe nothing is wrong with our behavior, that maybe we are doing the moral thing that is in integrity with our consciousness, that we must step into that knowing, not only for ourselves, but others. So I guess that's the message coming through. We're planting seeds. We're going in this quest into the subconscious, holding our boundaries so that we may take pleasure and beware of these happy toxins uh, of mindfulness as we do this work so that we can keep our boundaries as we enter this deep work and dance with this monster. I really love these two beings together because what I see with these two beings is here's somebody who wants to make it right, but is not full in themselves yet, who is struggling. And this being is really working to do this deeper alchemy and to be able to receive the light that comes from even the little bits of shadow work that have happened simultaneously. So I hope that this little ramble read was beneficial for you today. I am trying to do something a little different and just share on this channel right now, because I'm having a lot of downloads, both personally and I believe for the collective. I will work on getting more precise and clear with them. And thank you for being with me as I practice. Sending you great love and joy on your journey. Keep with it. I really think that we are moving through such profound times, and there's a lot going on in the sky, I think, that is assisting our journey and our path. So trust in yourself, see yourself, love all the archetypes within and around you, and work on sharing your story in a way that's empowering to you and yourself. If you are going to be the hero of a tale, if you're on the hero's journey, you have to step forward into the truth of being able to share with transparency, no matter how dark the demon, no matter what the monster is. All right. Well, enjoy your quest into your subconscious. Oh.